I don't have my bear spray on me. It's on the other side of my car.
Dude, this is so fucking sketch, bro.
Feels a little weird as well. Just kind of sitting there. Oh gosh.
In a video uploaded on June 17, 2025, Nomad Unknown offers a raw and deeply personal update on her nomadic life. After 8 consecutive months of living full-time in her car, she admits to hitting a wall of emotional fatigue, prompting a change in how she wants to travel. She calls this new chapter her dirtbag era, a phase focused on staying longer in remote wilderness areas, reconnecting with solitude, and embracing simplicity. She sets up her camp in a quiet, secluded spot, carefully arranging her vehicle to cook, rest, and unwind. While she briefly touches on safety, most of her attention goes to comfort efficiency and finding peace in isolation. Her tone remains honest and grounded as she explains her routine and the choices behind her setup. What begins as a calm and reflective escape quickly takes a terrifying turn.
I always like to have the most private side where I'm backed into, because it's where I spend more time, you know, cooking out the tailgate and stuff like that. I know a lot of people say back in for safety so you can pull away. Like, dude, if somebody's blocking me in, does it make more sense to ram them with the front of my car or the back of my car? Back of my car. That wasn't a question. Front end damage, I might not be able to drive anymore. Back end damage, probably can still drive. I'm not messing around, you know. When it comes to that, it'll come to other things. All right, this is a great campsite.
While camping alone in the Bridger Teton National Forest near Grand Teton National Park, she unexpectedly finds herself face to face with a grizzly bear. The encounter happens in an instant. Standing behind her car, trying to fix a video upload, she notices movement in her peripheral vision.
So the other night, I was ever so casually standing at the back of my car. I wasn't actually cooking. I was just troubleshooting something on my phone because I was trying to upload a video. I had my chair back there, just hanging out like I usually do. And something caught the corner of my eye. And I looked up, and about 10 feet away from me, moving towards me, was a full-grown grizzly bear. By time I rounded the corner to put the car in between me and the bear, it was probably like 6 feet away from me. Utter panic. Imagine you're just like hanging out like this, and then where that fire pit is, a grizzly walks up. Because that's what happened. I don't have my bear spray on me. It's on the other side of my car. Oh my God. Bear! Bear in camp.
Then realizes a massive bear is walking directly toward her, no more than 10 feet away. Instinct kicks in before thought. She darts behind her car, placing the vehicle between herself and the approaching animal. The bear closes the distance to roughly 6 feet before suddenly veering off. Her bear spray sits within reach, but the moment unfolds too fast for her to grab it. Still shaken, she scans the area and spots nearby campers. Some had already mentioned hearing strange noises earlier in the night. She warns them as the bear circles her car and reappears at the front, giving her almost no time to think. Although part of the event is captured on video, the scariest moment passes before the camera starts rolling. She reflects afterward on how her body reacted automatically, pure instinct guiding her actions faster than logic.
I feel like this bear was trying to attack me. No, but I also didn't feel like it was just like totally cool with me. And so I wanted to run, and I did start like moving kind of quickly. And then I had to catch myself to slow down because I was like, you are giving chase right now. Like, stop, slow down, and turn around. So I did. So the video is a little bit all over the place, but at that point, I know that the boys had their bear spray in their hand, and their car was open, and I just thought, I will jump in their car if I need to right now, because I was defenseless. I think it was probably a little bit scared by the movement of all the other people. And I say all the other people, there's probably like 6 or 8 people in that area. And then that's when it crossed behind the rear of my car, basically where I had just been standing. You see in the video like how big it was in comparison to like my items, my car and everything. And then it just started cutting across the meadow, and I caught somebody else in camp on the other side was walking, and it caught my eye, and I was like, they don't know. And so I just screamed bear in camp. And those are like the only words I could get out of my mouth, because I was just in like 100% fight or flight mode at that time. I wasn't like fully like, I don't know. I just felt like it was just monkey brain. I was just like survival.
It reminded her of earlier encounters in the wild, such as the time she nearly stepped on rattlesnakes while hiking through desert trails. Eventually, the bear drifts off toward a nearby meadow. In the distance, she sees another camper who seems unaware of the danger, so she shouts a warning across the field. Fellow campers later invite her to move her car closer for safety, helping restore a fragile sense of calm after the harrowing experience. Later, she realizes the bear had walked directly through the exact spot where she had been standing moments earlier. Its sheer size compared to her car and camping gear left her stunned. This close call serves as a sobering reminder of how quickly danger can escalate in the wilderness, especially with apex predators like grizzlies. Her biggest takeaway is simple, yet vital: keep bear spray within arm's reach at all times, never tucked away. Freedom and solitude define solo camping, but after an encounter like this, would you still camp alone? A YouTuber known as Harbor Explorers sets out once more into the rugged Australian bush, this time deep within Binderee National Park. The goal of this expedition is to locate a mysterious tent that has long been linked to a tragic case, a partially recovered body discovered years earlier in a nearby creek. Accompanied by a friend, Harbor hikes roughly 5 kilometers through the dense wilderness. Along the way, he recounts the chilling background. Years ago, a man who frequently camped in this park was found dead, only his torso ever recovered. Many suspect the tent they're seeking once belonged to him, left untouched since that time. As they move deeper into the forest.
Friday the 13th. Good date to be hiking to a supposed dead man's tent. Alright, so back to the story about this abandoned tent out here. Now apparently the body that was found in the creek further down, the fella actually, apparently loved this national park. He used to come out here and wild camp all the time and hike in the area, so sort of strengthens the case that this could be his tent. But like I said, we'll go have a look around, we'll see what we can find, see if we can find anything with a name on it or whatnot. Won't mess it up too much in respect to the fella if it was his, but we'll have a look anyway. Yeah, it's probably going to take about an hour maybe to get to the tent, probably not even. See how we go anyway. Yeah, it's probably going to take about an hour maybe.
They spot fresh, sizable animal tracks pressed into the dirt, an uneasy reminder of the wild territory surrounding them. Harbor notes that he always carries a knife just in case. After an hour of trekking, they finally find the tent, amazingly well preserved.
Here we are. It's a bit weird, eh? It's like a kid's bag there. It's a hiking pack. Part of a chair. How long this thing's been here? I mean, the body of the fella was found, I think, 2009. So if it is his, I'm not good at maths. What's that? 15 years or so ago. Surely it can't still be standing.
Scattered nearby are puzzling objects: a small child's backpack, a broken camping chair, a duffel bag, and a large hiking pack. One clue stands out: a battery stamped with a date matching the man's disappearance in the mid-2000s. It's not conclusive, but it feels significant. The tension rises when a distant, strange horn-like sound echoes through the trees. Both men hear it, but neither can identify what made it. Harbor, who had once considered spending the night there alone, quickly decides against it. They press on toward the creek. Where the body was found, a narrow, steep gorge known to flood easily. Harbor speculates that if the man had fallen during heavy rain, the water's force might explain his injuries.
Yeah, she gets a bit gnarly down around the corner there. I mean, if old mate slipped in here somewhere during flood time and got washed down there a little bit, I don't think you'd be able to get out. And that would probably do enough damage to turn you into just a torso, but for speculation, we don't know that, so. But yeah, it's a gnarly canyon. Awesome spot.
It's only a theory, but a disturbing one. After inspecting the site, they climb back toward the tent and begin their return.
All right, we're back. All right, we're done and dusted. We're out of here. Yeah, she's a creepy old bloody tent. That one out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm guessing by some of the dates and whatnot we saw on the battery and a couple of those things and the cooker, they sort of marry up to around when he went missing or he was found. So I'm guessing that probably was his tent, but still unsure, not completely sure if it was or not. But anyway, we're out of here. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Harbor reflects on the evidence, the item's age, the location, the timeline, all seemingly connected to the case. Though he can't confirm it, everything points toward the tent belonging to the missing camper. Back at the car, Harbor closes the video with his usual relaxed tone. Despite it being Friday the 13th, there were no cults, no ghosts, just that eerie sound and an unshakable feeling of dread. The dated gear, the condition of the campsite, and its location all hint at a haunting possibility that the tent once belonged to the man who vanished. Could the harsh landscape have claimed his life, or was something else responsible? If this tent truly was his, why was it never found until now? And what made that unearthly horn echo through the wilderness? Nicholas Paparo is a dedicated fisherman and content creator, best known for his YouTube channel, where he shares solo fishing trips, gear tests, and explorations of remote waterways. His videos usually capture the peace and thrill of nature, a quiet retreat into wild rivers far from civilization. But in this episode, that calm suddenly gives way to something far more unsettling. The day begins like most of his adventures. Nicholas hikes deep into the forest, casting lines along an isolated stretch of river, accompanied by his loyal dog, Lola. The atmosphere is peaceful, filled with the gentle sounds of water and birds. He appears fully in his element, focused, relaxed, and at ease in the solitude of the wilderness. But partway through the recording, the tone shifts.
Lola, come here. How's it going?
While filming, Nicholas notices two men nearby. At first, it seems ordinary fellow hikers or anglers sometimes pass through these areas, yet these two act differently. They remain silent, standing at a distance, neither greeting nor acknowledging him. Even when Nicholas calls out, there's no response. Instead, they hover quietly, pretending to look around while clearly keeping him in sight. Their behavior grows more suspicious as the minutes pass. Their movements feel too controlled, too intentional. It becomes clear they're not there simply to enjoy the scenery.
Come here. Come here.
Sensing danger, Nicholas becomes increasingly cautious. He doesn't know what they want, but something about their stillness feels wrong. Thankfully, he's not completely alone. His dog Lola stays close, alert, and protective. Her presence likely prevents the situation from escalating. Choosing to play it safe, Nicholas quietly packs his equipment and relocates downriver. The men don't follow, and there's no confrontation, yet the encounter leaves a lasting impression.
Woohoo! Alright, those dudes are just standing there staring at me. Sketchy! I don't know if they wanted something or what, but they were peeping me out from down the river, and then they came closer and closer, and they were just tending to look at the trees, and then they kept staring at me. Fuck. Usually people like say something or whatever. They're just standing there staring, like, especially peeking past the trees halfway down the river and then getting closer and closer and then standing next to me and just staring at me. Yikes.
Later, he reflects on the incident, visibly shaken. What began as a peaceful fishing trip became a reminder of how quickly a serene setting can shift into something unnerving. The men's quiet, deliberate actions raised immediate suspicion. Were they simply awkward strangers? Or were they assessing whether Nicholas was vulnerable, perhaps considering theft or intimidation? Their behavior suggested something beyond harmless curiosity. So what do you think their real intentions were? Was Nicholas just overthinking the moment, or did his instincts save him from something far worse? The next story features Casey Johnston, a solo female van lifer and self-taught builder who documents her minimalist, independent, and nomadic lifestyle. In 2023, she purchased a 2018 Ram ProMaster, named it Maggie, and spent more than a year transforming it into a fully equipped home on wheels. On March 30th, 2025, that peaceful lifestyle took a frightening turn. While parked in a small town in southern Utah, Casey started her morning as usual, waking up early, drinking coffee, and working on her laptop. Her calm routine was interrupted when a black car drove by unusually slowly. It caught her attention, but didn't immediately seem threatening. Moments later, the same vehicle returned, pulling into the lot where her van was parked and circling behind it.
That was a really short morning montage because usually I would show you guys me making coffee or breakfast here in the van, and that is just not what happened this morning. In fact, Olive and I had a fairly unsettling morning, and I'm going to tell you guys about it. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Casey. I live in my self-converted camper van full-time on the road with my cat Olive. So just for some context, we are in a very small town in southern Utah, and we have already switched spots, but the spot we were at last night and this morning was actually a big dirt pull-off off the main road going in and out of town. So Olive and I, fairly early, I started working on my computer and recording some footage for the vlog, and I noticed at about 7 a.m. a black car went past us very slowly on the main road here. Speed limit is 40 miles an hour, and this car was going maybe 15 to 20 miles an hour, which struck me as odd, but they kept driving, so I really didn't think much of it. Until about 5 minutes later, the same car came back down the road and pulled off into the same lot as us and actually drove behind the van. And I was close enough to the car at this point that I could see there were two men in it. One was driving and one was in the passenger seat. And they actually went up a little road that was behind the lot that we were parked in. And they got to the end of the road, turned right back around, and then very slowly started coming back down the road towards the van. So this whole time I'm sat up here in the cab area very discreetly trying to watch what they're doing out this driver's side window. But once they got close enough back towards the van, I actually moved from up here into the back area because that is where I keep my safety items. And unfortunately, I don't have a window on the driver's side back there, so I lost my visual of them, but I could hear that they pulled their car up right along the driver's side of the van, and they actually honked their horn at us, which of course I ignored. And after I didn't respond to their honk, one of them got out of the car and came up and started knocking on my driver's side window.
From her window, she saw two men inside. They took a side road behind the lot, reached the end, then slowly turned back toward her van. Trying not to attract attention, she moved to the rear of the van to grab some safety gear, losing sight of them. But hearing the car stop beside her driver's side, the men honked and one got out to knock on her window. These weren't police officers, security, or anyone she recognized, just two unknown men at her door. She refused to respond. After a few tense minutes, they finally drove off toward the main road. Realizing she needed to relocate, but afraid of leading them somewhere isolated, she searched for a safer area nearby.
Which I also ignored. And just to clarify, this was not a police car, this was not a security car. These were just two dudes in a car. So a couple minutes after I ignored the knocking, they finally left. They went back out onto the road and I watched them slowly drive away. At this point, I knew I needed to leave the lot, but I wasn't sure where I was gonna go because again, this is a small town and it is surrounded by very desolate areas. So the last thing I wanted to do was immediately try to leave town, drive out into the middle of nowhere and have them follow me. So I was looking up on my phone options for places to go, and I kid you not, 30 to 45 minutes later, the same car comes back down the road and pulls off on a street just up the road from us. So my brain is immediately telling me, oh, these guys are up the street and now they're just watching you. So I decided to come here, about 3 minutes away, to a local breakfast joint. I didn't see them follow me, and I haven't seen them in the hour that I've been sat here now. But yeah, pretty weird morning. So all that to say, you guys, I've decided Olive and I are driving about 2 hours away from here today. Feel better about doing it now that it's later in the day and there are just more cars on the road in general. And we're also going to be passing through the Four Corners, which is the intersection of Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico here in the US. There's a monument there that I will bring you guys along with me to go see. But other than that, the only priority today is finding finding and getting to a place where we feel safe settling for the night. So yeah, let's hit the road. I'm ready to leave.
Roughly 30 to 45 minutes later, the same black car appeared again, this time parking on a nearby street within clear view. It felt deliberate, like they were watching her. She quickly drove to a local breakfast spot a few minutes away and didn't see them again. Later that afternoon, Casey decided to put distance between herself and the area. She drove 2 hours out of town, choosing a more populated route, and stopping at the Four Corners Monument before finding a secure location to camp for the night. Based on her account, the men's actions suggested malicious intent, whether intimidation, an attempted setup, or stalking. The repeated drive-bys, close proximity, and lingering presence all pointed to something beyond coincidence. For solo travelers, moments like this can turn dangerous fast. Would you have confronted them, called the police, or driven away immediately? And what if they had followed her down the open highway? The next encounter comes from Tanya and Dave, the duo behind Let's Turn It Up World. Their camper van adventures take them across scenic highways, quiet campgrounds, and unusual roadside stops, embracing both the freedom and challenges of full-time RV living. But during one overnight stay at a casino parking lot, a seemingly normal evening took a dark and unsettling turn, one that left them shaken and questioning the safety of their lifestyle. The day began as so many others had. They wrapped up their stay in Lone Pine, California, and prepared for a 4-hour drive to their next stop. The plan was simple: spend the night in the parking lot of an abandoned hotel next to a casino. For them, it was practical, a free, quiet place to park and rest before continuing the journey. After arriving, they parked, settled in, and decided to explore.
It definitely looks like it's been kind of abandoned over here for quite a bit. I mean, look at this, like just all the grass is growing and everything. This is very cool too. Right, looking like an old water slide, almost like a kind of those log rides, like Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain.
Come down here.
Come down and whisk right onto that one over there. That's pretty cool.
Right. This must have been a lot of fun in this day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. It look. Hopefully they revive this. I mean, it doesn't look too weathered. Almost like with a little love, some dollars, you could probably bring this back.
I know. I don't see any signs yet of any comeback.
Yeah.
Any work on it, but maybe someday.
Yeah. It's so
I
cool.
agree. It's cool.
Just beyond the lot stood the decaying remains of an old amusement park. Roller coasters sat motionless, their steel frames rusted and overtaken by weeds, creating a haunting but strangely beautiful scene.
This guy right there is just like randomly came up to us and asked if we were, first question was veterans, and now he's driving around the parking lot. Dude, it's kind of creepy. So I let the security guards know, but he's out there just hovering around the parking lot. Oh man, that's a little unsettling. So I just turned the lights off. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to cook dinner. This is crazy, Dave.
It's crazy. I know it is. The guy's racing around the parking lot.
So I just turned the lights off. Hold on, let's close this up. I gotta finish with my meal. No, Bubby, Mom is watching. Yikes.
Right? No, it's...
As darkness fell, the mood began to shift. Tanya noticed a man in a black car lingering nearby. His questions were strange and intrusive, his demeanor unsettling. After a brief conversation, he left, but the uneasy feeling remained.
There's a black car. It feels a little weird as well. Just kind of sitting there. Oh gosh. That is the same one that was there earlier. The Ford that was there earlier that also kind of circled by. Black Ford Explorer. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm just worrying too much or...
We're gonna move it on.
Yeah.
Moments later, that same black car returned, this time accompanied by a white van with few windows. The vehicles began circling the lot, driving slowly past their camper as though inspecting it. Eventually, they parked nearby, their occupants remaining inside, silently watching. A security guard later mentioned the man in the black car had been behaving erratically earlier, which only added to their fear. Tanya and Dave began to suspect they were being cased, possibly targeted for their van or belongings. The white van seemed especially suspicious, its design perfect for hiding stolen property. Their instincts told them it was time to leave. They quietly packed up, locked their doors, and drove off with their lights off until reaching the main road. During the tense drive to a nearby truck stop, they kept checking their mirrors, terrified they might be followed. Only when they arrived safely at the familiar location did they finally relax. By morning, they were exhausted but relieved. The experience reminded them that when something feels off, it's better to trust your instincts and move. The repeated passes, the slow circling, and the presence of two vehicles working together suggested more than coincidence. Whether it was an attempted theft intimidation or something worse, the warning signs were clear. In situations like this, hesitation can be dangerous. Would you have stayed to confront the situation or left as they did? And if they hadn't driven off that night, what might have happened before sunrise? Dylan and David are the creators behind Signs and Signals, a YouTube channel focused on exploring haunted, mysterious, and historically eerie places across the United States. Their latest adventure took them to Lockhart, South Carolina, a small town steeped in history and surrounded by unsettling legends. One of the most enduring tales is that of the Lady in White, a ghostly figure said to appear beneath the veil of night wandering near the old riverbanks. On October 30th, 2023, the night before Halloween, the pair arrived for an overnight investigation. From the beginning, the air felt heavy and charged. The streets were deserted, and the distant sound of rushing water carried an eerie calm. Following a local tip, they made their way toward a bridge rumored to be one of the most haunted spots in the area. When they arrived, however, they found the bridge fenced off and covered with warning signs making entry impossible. Reluctantly, they searched for a new place to continue their investigation. They eventually located a quieter section of town, one that also had its share of reported hauntings, and decided to set up a Ouija board in hopes of making contact.
I do not feel good about this. This is sketchy as hell too, man. Somebody's gonna pull up and see this. Imagine somebody pulls up and just sees us doing it.
You can see it from the road if they looked, I think.
Oh god, are they turning?
No. These might.
Dude, this is so fucking sketch, bro.
We got it. Let's get it over with.
For a while, the night was peaceful, interrupted only by the occasional car driving by, until a piercing scream shattered the silence. The sound was distant, but unmistakably human, filled with fear and urgency.
Oh! 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 Yo! Hey! Y'all alright? Oh! Somebody got hurt.
That sounded like a woman too.
Hey! I got goosebumps, dude.
Yo, are we really gonna go down here?
Hey! Are you okay?
There's no way we can even get to whoever it is.
Maybe, like, they were down there in the water. I don't know, dude. Are we supposed to call the cops or something?
I don't really know. I feel like yes, kinda.
Could that be like an animal, though?
They say bobcats do.
Make, yeah, like a screeching sound.
At first, they stood frozen, unsure if the noise had come from an animal or a person in distress. After a moment of hesitation, they decided to follow the sound toward the riverbank. As they ventured deeper into the dark, their flashlights illuminated only thick trees and the reflective shimmer of water. Calling out into the darkness brought no response. The scream never came again, replaced instead by an eerie stillness that felt almost unnatural. Just as they began packing up to leave, something else caught their attention.
Dude,
What?
I swear to God, I just saw something go behind the car. Lock the door.
What?
Dude, turn your cam on. The backup cam.
Oh.
Turn it on. Dude, I swear I saw something white for real.
Oh,
Holy Yep.
oh,
What the Dude, is that just somebody out there? Dude.
Yo, get out.
Dude.
Go.
What the is that, dude? Hey, who's out there? Who's out there?
Go, Dale, go. Turn my light. There it is.
Like, I can't tell, like, he was over here, right?
It's hard to tell from the backup camera. I think it was over here.
Trail right here. Well, it looked like it was over here. Hey, anybody out there?
In the reflection of the car's rearview mirror, a pale, almost glowing figure appeared, moving near their vehicle. Turning on the backup camera confirmed it, a white translucent shape gliding across a nearby trail. Both men rushed outside to investigate, but when they reached the spot, there was nothing. No movement, no sound, only the suffocating sense that they were being watched. Later that night, while reviewing their footage, they found proof of what they had seen, a faint white figure drifting in the shadows exactly as they remembered. Combined with the scream earlier in the evening, it convinced them they had encountered the lady in white. The moment was equal parts terrifying and thrilling, a chilling reminder of why they chased the unknown. Some locals believe the lady in white is connected to tragic events along the river, her spirit forever trapped in the area. Others suggest more rational explanations, tricks of light wildlife, or even elaborate hoaxes. Still, the combination of the blood-curdling scream and the white figure on camera makes this case hard to dismiss. If you faced an apparition like that, would you stay to investigate or drive away into the night?